Arran, a small island on the west coast of Scotland, is home to some of our planet's biggest stories. Hidden in Arran's spectacular landscapes are the clues that take you on a journey through Earth's history and the evolution of life. Imagine walking alongside the footprints of prehistoric creatures that lived in giant forests, hiking over ancient volcanoes, or paddling past the places where the seabed once ripped apart.
It was on Arran in the summer of 1787 that James Hutton, a very famous Scottish geologist, visited this site, and he discovered the age of the Earth was not 6,000 years as previously thought. These days we think it's more like 4.6 billion years of age. The discovery of a giant millipede track was so amazing that Sir David Attenborough himself came here to have a look at this track.
The story of Arran's past begins over 500 million years ago, underwater south of the equator.
These contorted rocks located in the north of the island were once deposited in an ancient ocean. They tell us that as the Earth's tectonic plates came together, they crumpled all the layers, and as they did, they formed the Caledonian mountain chain, similar to the Himalayas of today. Now all we see is the remnant of a former mountain chain, worn away over time.
Travelling through time as you walk around Arran's coastal path, you can witness the continents moving and the climates changing. The rocks reveal Scotland's journey north over millions of years across the equator.
Along the beach between Corrie and Sannox, there are rocks made up of large pebbles, deposited by huge ancient rivers that carved up the mountain ranges. This was followed by a period of lush tropical climate at the equator. Imagine giant life forms around me and wandering through enormous forests of tree ferns up to 30 metres high. As time moved on, Arran's latitude became comparable to that of the Sahara. Large sand dunes dominated the landscape, as we can see from the rocks along the northeast coastline. In the south of the island, we can see where life continued to evolve with the footprints of a large reptile known as the handbeast or Chirotherum, an animal much like a Komodo dragon that came before the dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs were here in Arran too, but evidence of these great beasts have been destroyed by its next chapter in history, the volcanoes.
Huge volcanic cliffs in the south of the island tell the story of Earth's continents moving apart towards the positions they are in today. Black rock cutting through the landscape was once molten lava, filling the cracks as Europe and North America tore apart. The volcanoes and granites that now make up Arran's stunning skyline pushed up through the older rocks, leaving the remnants of the past tropical and desert conditions on the coastline.
The shape of the spectacular mountains that we see today are a result of glaciation. It was only about 8,000 years ago the last permanent glaciers in our glens finally melted.
Just a glance at this landscape today shows you the impact that all of this ice had. Glaciers carved out vast U-shaped valleys, hollowed out huge armchair-shaped corries, and plucked boulders the size of buildings from the mountaintops and dumped them down by the coastline. These landforms are so shockingly dramatic that the locals named them after witches, giant warriors, and the devil himself. Ice lay about 600 metres deep across Arran, with only the hard granite mountaintops protruding. The weight of all this ice physically pushed the island down, and ever since it melted, Arran has been steadily bouncing back up again. And because the island is still rising, we've got coastlines complete with caves and arches and raised beaches found well above today's sea level.
It's these landscapes that then provided shelter for humans as our chapter of Earth history began. Every landscape has a story to tell, but Arran is a small island with a big story. Millions of years of Earth history packed into its magnificent scenery. On your next visit to Arran, take a moment to imagine yourself in the ancient deserts, jungles, and volcanoes. The landscape you enjoy tells the story of our planet and how we came to be here. It's our story. Arran, the little island with a big story.